Hey everybody, it's Jennifer, and it feels good to be doing a video right now. It's been quite some time since I've done one. Um, kind of been on a little bit of a social media hiatus, much needed social media hiatus, and uh, news hiatus. I do a lot of news hiatus, but um, in any event, what I wanted to talk about was the importance of your mind, guarding your mind, guarding against the um, the emotions and the attachment to the collective experience that most people are going through. How can I put this differently? Not getting caught up in the matrix. Basically, we are 100% living in a matrix that is designed intentionally to enslave our minds. Basically, I can't even think of another way to put it, but um, there are powers that be, there are entities that don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to succeed, want you to understand how powerful you are. They don't want you to understand your ability to create the life that you want, to live in abundance, to be happy, to be in great relationships, for everybody to be well nourished and healthy and cared for in our society. Can you imagine a society where everyone is fed, everyone has housing, people are treated with basic human dignity and respect? Um, it really is something that we need to ponder. Um, why I took a social media fast and a news fast was because there's so much in the media right now. I mean, it's always been this way, but I think they're stepping it up to an even higher fever pitch between all of the presidential drama, the threat of nuclear war, the everybody and their grandmother getting is a sexual harasser and child molester and uh, all of that. People are getting shot in public places, huge crowds. Um, the collective consciousness and there's all this pitting. Oh, I can't forget this. All this pitting against each other in the name of race and creed and color and all that stuff. Total distractions, and we're very easily falling for it. Not to mention our food supply and the fact that it will, if you go out somewhere, you're probably going to pay double the price in order to eat a salad as compared to a burger, a processed burger or fries or whatever. There is industries that don't want you to be healthy. There are industries that want you to feel bad about yourself. There are industries that are trying to keep you in a certain position, in a certain social class, in a certain housing environment, all of these different things. All of that is true. And so with that being the case, we all must really get control of our minds, get control of what we are focusing on, what we're thinking about, what we are intending. A lot of us are not intending for anything. We just know exactly what we are against. We can tell you at great length what we are against, but unfortunately, not enough people can tell you what they are for. What is the vision that you are holding for the planet? Not everyone's is going to be the same. It's got to be whatever resonates with you. But your life and your experience and the things that you've gone through will kind of guide you to your purpose of sorts, which may be, for some, I will say for me, my purpose um, is tied to freedom, and is tied to self-determination. I believe that every person on the planet has the right to determine their life, and that we need to be empowered with the knowledge and the understanding so that we can really live from that space. There are people that want you to believe that because you were born in a certain place, because your parents didn't have money, or you struggled, you made some bad decisions in your life, whatever the case may be, there are people, entities, and structures that are set up to try to convince you that you are this small, that you are going to stay in this box, that you are only worth certain, because of your past mistakes, or because of circumstances that were beyond your control. The place and the time or circumstances in which you were born or raised. A lot of that, that has nothing to do with your own doing. But again, these entities want you to imagine yourself as being in a certain box so they can control you. That's it. They're trying to control you. And that is why we take control of our mind. And when I say our mind, when we get our mind in the framework that we are creating the life that we're experiencing, that uh, we're unlimited in our ability to create exactly what we want. A lot of people are so trapped into environments of negativity and hopelessness. They may not see a way out. And if that's the situation with you, you really just need to completely. Sometimes we get afraid of letting connections and relationships go, because we're thinking, okay, well, all of these are my friends that I've known forever and that I've been around, but they're negative. They're not going forward. They're not pushing me. They're not empowering me to do better. They're kind of, they're negative. They're discouraging, all these different things. And if that's the situation, you need to remove yourself from uh, certain individuals, and that's just how it goes sometimes. It's not that you don't love that person, it's not that you don't care. You just have to love yourself more than you love those other people. Until you love yourself enough to require that anybody that comes into your space presents themselves in a certain way and adds some type of value to your life. Support, emotional, encouragement, whatever it is, a relationship, interactions with people that are in your life as an adult, because as a child you may not have the ability to choose who's necessarily in your life, but as an adult you have the ability to decide who is in your life, regardless of whether they're friends, associates, business associates, family. You have the ability to determine that. And if that's the case, decide that you're more important. A so-called imaginary allegiance that sometimes we feel, oh, I can never, um, you know, turn my back or whatever. It's not about turning your back. You can love people, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck with them. And sometimes the most loving thing that we can do is to move forward. We can actually shine a light and help the people that we care about come forward. And sometimes that's what they need. They need to see that success. They need to see you progress. They need to see all these different before they will respect and listen to what you're saying enough to move forward. So again, we just need to be in control of our minds about what we are doing, who we're doing it with, and why we're doing it. So much pain. There's so much pain right now uh, in the collective consciousness of the planet. And so sometimes we have to back up and say, okay, I'm not going to tune in. I'm not going to dial in to this negativity. I'm not going to dial into this fear, this anger, this resentment, this racism, this xenophobia, this all these different energies that are designed to pit us against each other. We are we're staying stuck. There's no way for people to energetically progress in their purpose, in a higher vibration where they can create and do and be anything that they want. You can't do that. You have all negative energies on you. You're getting all these negative energies piled upon you to keep you heavy, to keep your third eye closed, to keep your perception dim, so that you cannot have the understanding, the patience, the that all of you are in control of your experience, of your matrix of sorts. There is the collective matrix, and there is your individual matrix, the one that you create based on your beliefs, based on your habits, based on your associates. That is what you're creating. And if you don't like what that matrix looks like, then you have to step back from the noise. Sometimes you have to step back from the noise of your negative friends, negative family, the news, all these different things, the internet, social media. You have to step back so you can listen to, okay, what am I being called to? Because this is the thing. This matrix has been designed with the goal of consumerism. They want you to continue to feel certain emotions, fear, doubt, uh, low self-esteem, all these different things, so that they can sell things to you. So if you are not experiencing these types of emotions, you're not going to buy. Okay, that's one paradigm to be aware of. But with that, we are, and I'm sorry, getting text message. With that, we are getting, uh, with that, as long as they can keep your vibration low by having all these stored up negative emotions in you, they're going to keep you from reaching your fullest and best potential. And your fullest and best potential is the realization that you are not here to get something from the planet. Our consumeristic, capitalistic, um, profits before people, profits before the environment, profits before animals, this whole paradigm is killing us. There's no other way to say it. It's killing us because the planet is suffering. We got, I just heard about a couple weeks ago the the company that the Native Americans in what is it, Montana? Oh goodness, the Native Americans that were trying to block the the oil company from building additional fields on, sacred land that was near rivers. Just a couple weeks, the Trump administration allowed them to come in and continue work in that very sacred area. And just 2 weeks ago, we find out that they had a huge oil spill in that same location. And this has been less than a year after it's been approved to move forward. So we've just been disrespecting the planet. Um, we've been conditioned to think that the uh, the things are going to make us happy. If we get that car, if we get that house, if we get that whatever it is, that trinket, that diamond, that whatever it is, that we will be happy. But we know and we see that that is not the truth. If you have been on that experience yourself, or even just looking from a distance, you can see people of all different types of economic uh, levels who literally are having like nervous breakdowns, um, you know, drugs, alcohol, all these different uh, things that have attached to them because of other demons, those things that we store up and we believe about ourselves based on our programming. We've been being programmed since we were babies, and our parents did what they programmed us a certain way based on their experience, based on their uh, conditioning and their program, and what different because have you ever noticed that you'll have uh, multiple people uh, witnessing the same thing, but they're experiencing something totally different. Like you may be a man and a woman, and the man is thinking that this woman is like so attracted to him and everything else, and she's just, she's on the opposite end thinking, I'm just being friendly or whatever. Um, you ever notice that? I'm sure you have. But basically, that that experience is, or the whole point of that is, we we can experience things so differently, and the only thing that makes the the same situation appear differently to two different people is our programming and what we believe about life, what we believe about people, what we believe about God, about consciousness, about everything. All of what we see and perceive in our environment is a function of what we believe, or what we've been programmed to believe. And so, if that's the case, then we have to recognize that you can reprogram yourself to believe something totally differently. And in doing so, you're going to break this down even differently. Scientists have basically studied, how the brain works and how it perceives information and data. And a study that they did basically came back and said that the brain unconsciously receiving, I think it's about 9 billion bits of information per second. Our subconscious mind, our unconscious, is perceiving this without us consciously being aware of it. But if you ask your well, on the opposite end, they talk about your average person only is conscious of about I think about 7 bits of information per second. So we're tuned into whatever we are uh, in vibration with, we are going to see. It's like people talk about they they bought a certain type of car and they never used to see it. And now everywhere they go, they see that same car. It's not that those cars weren't on the road, it's that now our perception is tuned in to that frequency of that car. And so now you see it, but we literally are processing so much data and so much information every day. We see so much, but we don't perceive it because we're not tuned into it. So if we want a different type of result, we have to basically tune in to the frequency of that which we want to experience and to see. And right now, what's happening with all the turmoil in the world is that we're being called into having a collective vision of what we want our planet to be and to look like and to represent, and not making it about, uh, you know, being in anger and uproar and resentment about what we don't want. Most of us will protest what we don't like very, very, very quickly. But if you line a group up and you ask, what do you want? The vast majority of us have no idea. We know what we don't want to see. We know we don't want um, war and racism and sexism and genderism and uh, you know all these different isms. We know we don't want these things, but what do we stand for? What is the vision that we are trying to experience, or that we would like to see in our homes, in our community, in our state, on the planet? What do you want your life to represent? What do you want to bring to the planet? Again, we've been trained to think about what we can get from the planet, when true joy, true peace, true fulfillment, and true purpose comes through what we can give to the planet. And that's where the shift has to come in. What can we give to the planet needs to become our biggest question. What do I want my life to represent? What do I believe in? What is something that I am truly passionate about, that is my gift to the planet? Whatever that is, get clear on it and get focused in on being that. Stop focusing on what, oh, I'm worried about this might happen, that may happen. Oh, I wasn't able to pay my bills like a year ago. If I don't do XYZ, that is not, that I'm just going through the motion and I have low vibration energy on, then I'm not going to be able to take care of this. That's not true. Focus on the vision, focus on what you are here to give, and don't worry about how. The how is not your concern. Focus on what is the vision and what do you want to give and see and experience on the planet. If enough people individually develop, individually and collectively, come together with a vision of what we want our planet and our communities and our households to be and to look like, if we actually came up with the collective vision, come on, we can make a true heaven on earth. But the hell that we talk about, a lot of people talk about, is being created right now through the collective consciousness of all the people that are trapped in this cycle of anger and pain and rage and Um, you know, it's us versus them. If those people didn't do XYZ, then we would be in a better situation. It's just all this back and forth, negative, low vibration energy that is not going to elevate or get us to the place that we want to go. So I guess this video was really about me just letting you know I personally had to go on a social media fast, a bit of a news fast, and just getting a spiritual fast, like a cleanse of sorts, emotionally and mentally. There's so many things from your experience, from um, different things that have transpired in your life. You'll look at it and it can weigh heavy on you if you look at it from, oh, and I this is something that came to me. If you really look at life on a micro level, like, you know, moment by moment or year by year, day by day, it can seem like the things that we go through are so terrible and so overwhelming and so never ending. I'm never going to come out of it. It's so hard. It's so painful. This is the worst thing possible that could ever happen to me. If you look at it from a micro level, you experience all those emotions. But then when you look at your life, later on, when you look at your life from a macro level, you'll start to understand that life is really working on your behalf. If you carry a vision, if you are focused on something particular, something unique, something that you want to give to the planet, if you're really in that vibration, you're a creator and you're magic. Literally, things will come together. Things will come together. But it really comes back to the vision. What do you want? What do you want this life to represent? What do you want this world to look like? How can you affect that change? How can you be the change that you want to see? That's what we're all charged with. And the thing that we have to do is take control of our minds, take control of our bodies and what we're putting in it. Be very, very, very careful about the type of food that you eat, where this food is coming from. Is it processed? Is it, what's going on with this food that you're eating? Because that is going to give you a certain vibration. It's going to affect your chemistry, affect your vibration, and it can keep you either, cloudy and stuck and not able to move forward, or it can put you on a higher plane. Similarly, just like some of these medications that they're giving to people, be very, very careful about what type of, these medications. The same people that want to tell you that herbs do not work, and that getting rid of negative emotions don't work in terms of healing the body, but this has been proven time and time again. I'm sorry, my camera was doing something. Um, your mind plays a huge role in your healing. There's studies that prove this at this point, but the pharmaceutical way that you can heal yourself is through these pills, that these man-made pills and formulations that they make commercials. How do you make commercials for medication? A person should not be sitting at home thinking about what is wrong with their body and how going to their doctor and basically pitching their doctor for a certain type of drug. There's something kind of sick about that if you think about it. There's something wrong with that. And then most of the medications on top of it cause so many other problems. Next thing you done helped your heart, but now your kidneys are bad. It's just it's terrible. We are made in the image and likeness of the Most High. We are made in the image and likeness. Therefore, we have the ability to magically create different things, experiences in our life. We're able to do that because, oh, I can get so deep. I'm not going to get so deep today. I can go all over the place. But anyway, that is what I wanted to share today. I hope that um, someone hears this message and uh, considers that shift. You start to really focus on not what the collective is going through, but turn it within, turn it into what can I do to bring forth a vision for the planet that creates the world that I want to see. Let me not be so focused on protesting and being against something um, energetically as opposed to being for something. Don't be anti war, be pro peace. I am a peacemaker as opposed to I'm an anti war. Uh, it's a vibrational shift because it's putting energy on what you want as opposed to what you don't want. And that is huge in terms of how we create and how we manifest different things on the planet. So, with that being said, I'm going to go, but I definitely want to hear your comments, your thoughts. So, definitely make sure that you continue to comment below this video. Um, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.